Now running his own business, architecture has always been a huge part of John's life.
I started my architectural work many years ago, back in the 70s, as an intern architect, and then I moved on to work for the American Institute of Architects for 23 years, and I was the editor-in-chief and publisher of the AI Press and of Architectural Graphic Standards. I left AIA in around 2000 to begin a career in real estate, and I worked for Long & Foster for about 7 years.
After his stint as a real estate agent, John decided he wanted to get back to his roots, while at the same time finding a creative outlet.
I started a small business called Rustic Barns and Hoke, and they're basically design build firms. One is an architectural service for homeowners. I'm currently designing additions and kitchens and bathrooms and decks and porches and things. And that's been very rewarding, but I also believe in providing architecture as a product, and that's what the shed that we're with right now. And I have a great family, and they support me in this effort, and I hope to do more and more of this. And it's not just sheds and decks, but it'll be whole houses, and hopefully maybe I'll do a museum or two.
John's niche is small-scale residential buildings, and he hopes to tailor those to people who also want a great design.
I think that small buildings can be wonderful problem-solving experiences, and from an architect's standpoint, and in the end provide very useful building for people. So it's been a real joy. I think going from architecture to publishing in architecture, and then into real estate and back into architecture, it feels like there's been some consistency in my journey. I've always had an interest as a young man in residential design, and my interest in architecture goes back to when I was 7 or 8 years old. So I think it's it was in my DNA, let's say. I think I'm happier now doing architecture, involved in the architectural work that I've had an opportunity to work on the last half of the year. This project got me back to some extent.
Designing and building the barn mostly on his own, along with some help from his son, allowed John to be creative and learn certain details through the process. He now takes those and prior experiences to put his energy towards something he enjoys and finds personally rewarding.
The transition and the growth at this point in time for me has been a great joy for me, because I'm somewhat independent. I'm acquiring clients right now. I learned a lot from real estate in terms of marketing and sales. Real estate has helped me answer questions that I couldn't answer as an architect, because I'm dealing with homeowners that have real estate related questions. It was a good experience for me, and I left principally because the market had changed, and it wasn't as much fun after 7 years. This will last me for the rest of my life, because I think in the end, creating buildings for people, designing buildings is something that I was made to do, and I feel like this is where I belong.